Well folks, my outdoor flying season is nearing its end, but I've still got a few new toys to review, like this, the FuriBee Dinosaur Q95 brushless micro FPV quad from Gearbest. Look at them cute little props. The Q95 is a 95mm 2-inch bind and fly FPV quad that runs on 2 or 3S batteries and includes everything you see here. Out of the box, the Q95 does not have prop guards, but they are included so you can swap them out if you wish. It sports 2045 4-blade props, 1104 6000 kV motors, a 4-in-1 20-amp D-Shot 600 compatible ESC, an F3 based flight controller with integrated OSD, and an FR Sky XM Plus micro receiver with diversity antennas. Also included is a 40-channel all-in-one FPV camera transmitter combo that is switchable from 25 up to 200 milliwatts. But they didn't wire it to the OSD, so there's that. I ordered the bind and fly version, which required me to press a tiny button on the receiver in order to bind with my QX7 transmitter. Easy enough, but there's more to getting this bird in the air than that, which I'll cover in a sec. The Q95 can fly on 2 or 3S, so I picked up a few of these Tattoo 453S lipos because hey, who's got time for flying slow? The quad itself weighs in at 64 grams, bringing my all-up weight to a measly 105 grams, so chew on that, FAA. Now I want to say that bind and fly meant that it really was as easy as that, but let's be honest, that's rarely the case these days. After binding the receiver to the transmitter, I still needed to configure the flight controller for S-Bus on the correct port and set up my flight modes. I left my PID stock because I'm lazy, but also because most quads perform well with stock settings these days. I was pretty let down to discover that the OSD is not connected to the FPV gear, and it can't be without some major surgery to the unit. What's weird though is there are plenty of camera VTX units out there that have OSD compatibility built in, so I'm not sure why they wouldn't use one of those from the get-go. But then again, I don't work at Gearbest, so what do I know? Anyway, enough talk, let's fly. So my first impression was, wow, this FPV camera kinda sucks. But my second impression was, dang, this little thing could scoot. This was my first experience with a micro brushless, and let me tell you, I am never going back to tiny loops, ever, like ever, ever, ever. This little guy flies like it's a 5-inch freestyle build, and it floats forever. It is ridiculous how much fun I was having with something this small. Another side effect of the size is that I wasn't afraid of anything. This bird doesn't have enough mass to do any real damage, so go ahead and rip. Having flown the Q95 for a few days now, I can tell it's quickly becoming one of my favorite birds. For one thing, it's a lot faster than I expected, and its low mass means you can toss it around like you wouldn't believe. Parts are cheap, as are batteries, and with 3S I was getting flight times similar to my 5-inch builds. It'd be simple enough to find a small case that's just large enough for your goggles, transmitters, batteries, and the quads and take it with you anywhere. Plus, the fact that it's running beta flight on an F3 with D-Shot means you're going to get some real performance out of it. My only complaints are the included camera is less than stellar, the OSD isn't wired in and requires surgery and/or a new camera to get it working, and bind and fly really means bind, configure, tune, rewire, and fly. But we're all pretty used to that by now, aren't we? In spite of these minor issues, I totally recommend this quad to anyone looking to scale down and get into the brushless micro scene, but maybe isn't ready to build just yet. The FuriBee Dinosaur Q95 is available exclusively at Gearbest, so check the link in my description to get yours now.